on Howard University's campus, and we decided to stop a couple students who are not in our state and local government class and ask them about Black women in politics. Come with me. Hello, guys. Good. How are you? Good. So, where are you from?
I'm from South Carolina.
South Carolina. So, do you know of any prominent Black women in South Carolina that ran in this past election?
No, I don't.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Georgia.
Georgia? Okay. Oh, you guys had a very prominent. Can you talk about?
I was very educated running for the role of governor in Georgia. So I was really excited to see that. And but it was just really interesting to see all the issues and like chaos going on around that factor for running.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from DC.
DC. All right. So you guys had a few. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we have probably already know Norton. She runs like every year basically uncontested. We pretty much know she's going to win in DC. And so DC's not our state, so we don't really have a representative, but she's our closest thing to a representative. Also, my ward, I'm from Ward 4, so we also, Ward 4, I guess the council, yeah. It's Murder Bowser, or the mayor. She was Ward 4, but now it's just the mayor. So she's also a Black woman. But I think if you look at DC, most of the candidates are Black.
Fact check. 50 years after the first Black woman was elected into Congress, Shirley Chisholm, there has been a very prominent amount of Black women in politics. This year alone, we saw 468 Black women run for candidacy in this election. Although all were not victorious, we definitely made our mark.
The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman.
The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman.
The most neglected person in America is the Black woman.
Alex and I represent two opposite ends of the spectrums in terms of voters in this recent state elections. So during the recent elections, I felt very represented.
And I was probably the exact opposite, actually, yeah.
So I remember when we first started class, like one of our first classes in state and local government, Dr. Grant had asked us, where are we from? And she specifically said, where are you from? Not the major city that you're close to, but where are you locally from? And I'm from Naperville, Illinois, which is an exurb of Chicago. And so usually when I think about local and state politics, I'm always focused on Chicago, because that's where the major things are happening.
Yeah, I understand that. I wouldn't say I have like a major city like that around me, but close enough, I guess. I kind of live in the major city, but I don't know.
Yeah, and so I'm always focused on that, but during this recent elections, there was actually someone who looked like me, represented who I am and my family, that was running from my town. Her name's Lauren Underwood, and she was running, and she did an excellent campaign, and she actually won. She represents the 14th Congressional District of Illinois. She's from Naperville, Illinois, went to my high school, and she really defied what a state legislator is in the grand scheme of this whole election, because we had so many Black women. She's Black, she's a woman, and she's young. She's only 32. And she really represented kind of like the whole kind of picture of this new kind of wave of legislators. But then she also was very, very new for my specific town. I don't know how Lafayette is, but Naperville is predominantly rich, white, and male dominated. So for her to win was just a big thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we were like rich and white. We were very country and white. So, it's a different kind of white aspect, I guess. Mm-hmm. But like it's still white nonetheless. So like Lafayette, I'm not gonna say we, but they just re-elected the same white man who's been there for all of my life. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of been like that for every congressional district except for New Orleans.
Okay.
Because in New Orleans, they have a Black congressman, and his name's Cedric Richmond, and he's like famous-ish, I guess, because he's Black and from the South and all that. But no one else, like, I don't even know if there were any there weren't any black women. There was a white woman who ran in Lafayette as a Democrat, but she got like 10% of the vote. Okay. So even then, like, there was no real chance for anyone other than a white male. So I don't think I would ever expect that, you know, kind of in the same way that you did. You never really expected it, but there's always like a chance. I always really saw my own self as being like the chance that my city had, just because like there's no one else that I have to look at like that, you know.
Wow. So. And see, that's so funny because yes, I'm a student of political science, but I'm also an Africana major. So after taking this class, and we had so many black women come to our class to speak about, you know, we did the Kwame Brown lecture series, uplifting her, and then also other black women in politics. I was like, I never really saw myself in politics, like running for office or different things, but definitely after having this class, seeing the different women, and then Lauren Underwood winning, and I think just because she's from my town, went to my same high school, like now I see myself winning, now I see myself as a chance, so then that's very, very interesting. Now I see myself, you know, as someone who could win political office or kind of have those aspirations.
Yeah, because you don't, you know, like necessarily have to have one. It's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of job, you know, because we do see an overpopulation of, like, the white men that basically run Congress or whatever, but not every black woman or not just every person is like that. Because we come from different backgrounds, like you said, like, someone that's from your neighborhood in Naperville is not going to be anything like mine in Lafayette.
Yeah, that's very true. And I remember chapter 6 that we discussed in class specifically talked about state legislators, and we went through the various different criteria that state legislators usually hold. They're usually at least middle-aged, kind of 40 and above, usually around like the 50 mark, that they may be lawyers. They have like a legal background or some type of background already in the field, in the political field and law and those different type of things, that they're male, that they're predominantly white or of that, and all these various criteria. But, you know, we saw that was totally knocked out of the park. And Lauren Underwood, she's actually a registered nurse. So she,
not anything in law.
She doesn't have anything in law, but she's a registered nurse. And I think that really touched on what we talked about throughout the course in terms of state and local government responding to the immediate needs of the people. She talked about healthcare. So Naperville is a very family-oriented place. So she talked about healthcare and dealing with families and those various things. So I think it was really interesting how a lot of the new faces that we saw that had these various backgrounds, they really spoke to what state and local government is, talking about real issues and real people. I remember she talked about Andrew Gillum in class. We talked about Andrew Gillum a lot in class, of course, Stacey Abrams, but just people that were running on real issues that affect people, because I think that we also don't. One thing that I really learned throughout this course is that how much state and local government affects my daily life, and I'm always looking at the national government, but I'm like, wow, state and local government deals with things that most affect me, you know, so. Okay, well, I can say something.
Black women have been a force in politics.
And this last election has proved that, but we can't stop there.
As Black women hold so much power. We must use this power to be the change we wish to see.
Push me in.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman.
The most unprotected person in America is the black woman.
The most neglected person in America is the Black woman. I think that
We should have a picture where we're like holding up the Black Power symbol or some shit like that. Like,
Stacey Abrams ran against Brian Kemp.
Okay. What were your feelings about the whole election?